First thing you're going to need is 2 equal lengths of nylon or polyester rope. I melt the ends so that there's no fraying. I'm using 10-foot lengths of rope today to create shorts, cuffs, but you can use 15 or 20-foot lengths of rope to create a longer gauntlet. Depends on the look you're going for that night. It doesn't matter the length of the rope, the tie is the exact same. The first thing you want to do is find the midpoint or the bite of the rope. Widen the bite and reach through that hole to grab the loose ends, and then pull those loose ends back through to create the first loop. You'll put this on your wrist so that the loose ends go over, under, and then up and through the bite. When you pull it towards yourself, it should tighten. That's how you know you have it on correctly. Before I go any farther, I like to line up the ends again and make sure I got the rope as even as possible, because it's your one chance to get it right before you are actually creating knots. So make any adjustments that are necessary to get it all evened up. Take this first securing knot and pull it close to your body with your palm up. Secure it and toss the loose ends over your arm to start. Now, all these knots are going to be the same. What you do is you drag the loose ends up towards your elbow, you reach down and through, you grab them, and you create the first knot. You can throw the loose ends away. The first thing you want to do here is to follow the loose ends all the way around both times to make sure you've got parallel lines. These look very nice, so that's good. With the first knot especially, tighten as much as you want. Don't cut off circulation like crazy, but a little snug is good because they do loosen up over the course of the night. Once you have it as secure as you have it, slide up towards your elbow, reach down, grab the loose ends, up and through, toss them over and follow the loose ends around to make sure all the lines are parallel. Tuck it in, tighten, slide up towards the elbow, reach down and through, grab, make any adjustments you need to with these. Along the way, there's usually 1 or 2 that will twist and turn, so you can get into quite a good groove once you've done it a few times and know when it's working. Now here, I can't reach down and grab the loose ends anymore, but there's a lot of rope left, so it's workable to make one more pass around the arm. But to do that, I'm going to have to take these loose ends and hold them with my hand and grab the hoop with my thumb and feed the loose ends up and through. Straighten this last one out all the way around. Now in order to create the final tie-off, I'm going to take the 2 ends here, I'm going to pull them back towards myself. I'm going to loosen up this first loop a little bit, and I'm going to tuck the 2 ends under that first loop. And then I'm going to feed them over that loop and through the hole that was created to create the first or the last knot. Now if you're putting this on somebody, it's probably going to be very easy to tie this off. But when you're tying it yourself, you just have to take each segment of the loop and tighten it as much as you can. When I'm using the longer gauntlets, and sometimes even when I'm doing the shorter one here, I'll use my teeth to grab onto the 2 ends and tighten it up that way. But once it's tightened, you have a nice braid that you can adjust. If you want to wear it to the inside or the outside, you can move it around however you think it looks best. So it's the same exact tie on the other arm, which I'll get to in just a second. For the other arm, the tie is exactly the same. Take the loose ends, find the bight of the rope, create a hole and reach through to make that first loop. Put it on your wrist so that it goes around, under, up, and through the bight. When you pull it towards yourself, it should tighten. Take the two ends and make sure things are even with this rope. Loose ends going away from you. Slide up towards the elbow, reach down, pull through. Follow the rope around for parallel lines. Slide it up toward the elbow, reach down and through. Up to the elbow, down and through. Up to the elbow, down and through. Once again, we are at a point where we can no longer reach that around. So I'm going to hold on to the loose ends here, hold on to this end with my thumb, and feed the loose ends through. So follow these around, make the adjustments as necessary. Once again, this tie is exactly the same. I'm going to pull it back, loosen that first loop, tuck it under, and then over and under itself again. Tighten the first section of the final knot. Tighten the second section. And tighten off the final one. Once again, it can be adjusted however you want. Whether you want the braids to go on the outside or the inside. But it's a very good look. I wore these out last night and they were well received. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Goodbye.